Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dis Too Deep, an episode of Dis Professor. You're in the classroom with the 101s. You're in the classroom with the Don, the one, the Dis, young OG. And today I want to come into the classroom and share just something that I've been thinking about the past couple of months. And I'm not too sure if this was inspired by my self development journey or maybe just by the culture, attempting to better myself, but realizing how much shame is still like almost included in that self development process. A lot of people don't want to continue to be great and maintain the greatness in their authenticity and who they are because they're comfortable just shifting shame and blame onto other people and accepting, well, I may not be the greatest, but at least so and so is worse than me. And I would love for all of us to really run that shit out of our psyche and understand that the best thing we can do beyond helping put ourselves in a position to be the best we can is supporting others and discovering and becoming the best version of themselves. And hopefully, with this topic, a real freaking shocker, a real damn nail biter, hopefully, you guys can understand where I'm trying to go with that. And, excuse me, we as regular people can come together through these conversations, through this kind of community, through these discussions, and truly get to understand and appreciate each other more than we have been. Because the way that the world is right now is a reflection of our inability to love ourselves and to express that to each other. Thank you. I apologize, my people. I have to take just a quick break every here and then to make sure that we're still recording because I am a one-man army on this mission right now, but we're definitely building a community of support that can help get the best content, the best quality content to you guys. But for right now, this is just me. This is a man with a dream. So I hope you guys can support the vision and, participate in the sense that helping developing not just my dream, but my journey and my desire, the value that I hope to give you guys every day that I exist on this planet. But it all starts with little steps, and I want to prove to you guys that there is real value here to invest in. There is something real and genuine that we can build together, but it's going to take investments of all types of kinds, all types of wealth, all types of energy to really, really see stuff like this manifest itself into the real world. And it starts with people like you. So first off, I just want to thank you guys for even participating and subscribing if you have, liking, commenting, disliking. I don't give a fuck. It just matters to me that you're here and you're participating in this conversation with us. So if you haven't done the 3 of those, 4 of those, go ahead and do that, bro. Take a seat, grab some popcorn, text somebody that you love. Go ahead and call your ex if you want to. We are having a show tonight. Get ready. We are humanizing sex work for the people's revolution. I hope you're mad as fuck right now, or I hope you're ready to go. Okay, going back to how this was almost inspired by my self development journey, because as many people do, before we even start, I'm going to be very vulnerable on here, and I apologize, but that's the only way we're going to get to where we need to go as a community. And you're going, or you will be able to trust me in the places that I'm looking to guide you. So I'm sorry if my vulnerability triggers a little bit of the shame that's inside you. Please take that upon yourself, your God, your pastor, whoever you're consoling with. Do not take it. Don't put that shit on me. We are building a community of authenticity here. And if it takes one person a day, one person at a time, bro, I'll take that over having 10,000 people a day who are just 1 foot in, 1 foot out my basket. I need all of you. So authenticity is what we're starting with. Back to the fucking point. And I cursed like a sailor, so let me just apologize for that. But we're going to start this conversation just talking about the methods of consumption, because many people struggle with corn addiction. I guess I'm going to refer to it as corn during this because I don't know if this is going to get demonetized already, but I'm already broke, so I'm not really helping myself. But let's just get this video out and worry about that shit later. First, we'll start talking about the methods of consumption. And I guess my ADHD forced me to run off where I was really trying to go with this and begin. But I'll try to go back there. And you guys are going to have to like hang on to me this whole entire episode because my mind will run. So hang on to me and always stay with where I'm at. All right? Thank you. I wanted to start with methods of consumption because I was inspired to do this topic just hearing about people on their self-development journey and that giant split between should you do no FAP, should you do a celibacy, should you do just everything in relation to regulating or absolutely tarnishing and abusing your sexual energy. And I've been both ways about that because the way my mind works, it has like a lot to do with just like stimulation and regulating that stimulation. And I don't like taking the prescription medication that's given to me to like soothe that. So one of the things that I've been understanding is like, dang, maybe the ability to self-soothe through, and it doesn't even have to be with other people. It could even be just with the self through things like, I'm just gonna say it, through things like masturbation and whatnot, as a means of just regulating that overdue, that excessive energy that keeps running through the body. And as I was going through my healing journey, my self-awareness, self-discovery journey, and just I realized there's so much shame around this topic and this conversation that just clouds being able to have any kind of clear conscience about getting to like a conclusion or at least a clear decision that can get us somewhere, not just as individuals, but as a society. So I really wanted to examine this, not just for myself to just like justify, oh, you know what? It's still cool to watch Korn and like be this great person. I want to just open the conversation so we can just remove the shame that we're forcing on the people who are working in this industry. And we can start working on uprooting that within ourselves while also giving those people who are making a significant amount of wealth and abundance in an industry, it can give them an opportunity to actually have people to believe in and people that actually support and love them regardless of how they make their money. So we as regular people all across the board can build together. It's always going to be my goal at the end of the day. But it starts so much with just the limitations within that are stopping us before we can even start to build with each other. I know I totally missed the point that I was trying to get with why I started this, or maybe I did hit it in that. And if I did, I hope that you really took it because we're about to go on the roller coaster. We're already starting, my friends. So I had to divide means of consumption by the traditional way that many people consume their work and the non-traditional way that people are just beginning to start consuming. Really not just starting to consume, but starting to produce for themselves and then change the means of consumption throughout the greater means of society. And this is the traditional way, the corporation that has the great idea, the CEO that, runs the whole thing and owns all the people, exploits all of his slaves, and then takes all the loot and is the one with the legacy when the people that built up his or her legacy are just run down like trash the whole time, just stepped on, walked over, spit on, all types of nastiness to get this CEO, this amazing visionary to where they want to go. And this is how these executives think. They are thinking, let's use as many people as we can, convince them they're a part of something that gives them the value that they already don't believe they are, and then we can take all of the loot while handing them crumbs to hopefully satisfy them enough to feel like they need to come to us for our salvation as leaders, as slave owners and exploiters. While we get let's not even get into that part of the conversation yet because we're saving that for right here. Let me show you how the rich are using us as regular people to hate our own kind, to continue this kind of exploitation, to continue to individualize and dehumanize and abuse our brothers and sisters that just choose to make their money a specific kind of way. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of corporations. I am a fan of small business. I am a fan of a lot of small businesses. I'm a fan of a lot of small businesses that work together and regulate each other and have checks and balances for each other so nobody gets too big, but also nobody is allowed to fall beneath the safety net. That's what I think. I'm not a fan of this shit. It is too easy to corrupt this corporation type shit. And if you haven't even started just reading these little things, these notes that I've written down, let me just get into them with you. Dehumanized, exploited employees, corrupt management. I literally just gave you the whole story on that. It's a game that people are playing. And I don't want to get too deep into it because I still have more to get into. But you guys will grow into understanding. I'm just forging the road, forging the infrastructure in your brain as to what I want you to think about, the current state of this reality. There are no protections for our sex workers. Really, when they enter the industry, you're literally on your own the second you come out of it. And if you've had success in the industry, this is the craziest thing. This is the one kind of entertainment where you can be so successful in the industry, and the second you hop off, the second you're out of the industry, you're worse than like the most degenerate, just vile human being on the planet. And you just don't deserve like the same air, H2O, or no, that's not air. You just don't deserve to breathe the same oxygen. It's just like general life. But you were just the most popular. You were just the highest revenue producing. You were just it's crazy how, and it's one of the highest consumed forms of entertainment. I don't even want to call it entertainment when it comes from corporations and these traditional like monopolies in the corn, just sex industry, because it's not entertainment most of the time. Most of the time it's abuse. Most of the time it's exploitation. Most of the time it's not real consensual entertainment content. But they try to turn it to you like it is. And you are in such a compromised position as a viewer, as a consumer of this type of potent, powerful content that you're willing to overlook the dehumanization of people. You're willing to overlook underage girls in these videos. You're willing to overlook trafficked girls. You're willing to overlook drugged girls in these videos. As long as somebody can put a verification video with their name on a piece of paper. And the girl isn't screaming for her freaking life in the video. Maybe. And even at that point, what are you going to do? See, it's not just the perception that they're developing for you to have about other human beings in these videos. It's the corner they're backing you in to not say anything, to not even do anything when you see something wrong happening. When you see some fucked up, exploitative, abusive shit going on, you don't even feel like, I was just balls deep in this universe, but now I gotta, step out because some wrong shit is happening and I can change something about it. That's what it does, and it's all happening at the same time, bro. And it's disgusting, bro. It's really sad. I wrote right here, pimp salvation. I know I have to get into that because I don't want you guys to think that these girls are choosing to be in these situations. For so many of these situations, and I've done my fair share of research, knowing I haven't done enough, of course, none of us have. But I've done my fair share of research to understand that when you're just so backed into a situation, or you're just in one day, you're in the wrong situation. You just get into the car with the wrong person. You just go on a date with the wrong man. You just talk to the wrong person incorrectly. And then it becomes a lifestyle, bro. And then you're so deep into the game that it feels like these people are providing you salvation or some kind of safety or some kind of ability to build your way out of it, but they're not, because it's just sweet nothing crumbs, bro. Just getting fed scraps deeper, deeper, deeper into the hell that they're creating and they're benefiting off of. While the rest of us don't do my bad. While the rest of us don't do a goddamn thing about it, bro. And that shit is so sad, bro. When you have some fucking humanity, bro, in your head and in your soul, it just hurts seeing people be abused like that, bro. And seeing all the wealth that is being created through their abuse and them not even being able to benefit from it. Other people regulating them like pigs in a sty, bro, at a circus. It's absolutely disgusting, bro. Hopefully we can develop some damn humanity on this channel. And then, not even the worst part, and I pray to God this video is still recording because I feel like I'm going off right now. The worst part is that these corporations that are exploiting the jam out of all of these beautiful, young, aspiring, even older, even disabled, even different, even transitioning workers, these corporations get to buddy up with the media, get to buddy up with the education, get to buddy up with the religious factories in this country, and they get to decide how to manipulate the perspective of not just the sex workers, but of sex as a whole and sexuality as a whole, while draining the industry for every dime that it could produce and using us as bodies to create this kind of wealth, bro, for themselves. And I don't even want to get into like the, oh, elite people have parties on yachts and this and that. Like, I don't even want to get into that type of shit, bro. Like, I'm just talking about from like my perspective and from the, apologies, I had an alarm go off. I'm not supposed to be in here that long, but I'm too passionate right now. So you're going to have to get the whole thing on me. But hopefully you remember what I was just saying in that 2-second ago clip. I'm going to pair them together. But the fact that you can take this dark money and then use it to back end infiltrate, indoctrinate the youth on the literally the just out of left field when they're standing in right field. It's sick. It's vile. It's crazy because it's creating your own matrix using light and dark. And these people understand that, and I will get into that. I will get into that, using the light and dark of business to create empires. But that's going to be in a little bit. I just want to get you guys understanding how we as people can help each other through this shit. Now, this is what we came here for. Understanding, and this comes, the non-traditional method. I'm sorry, we're really jumping into this because I'm not sure how much time they're going to let me hang in here, especially when they start reading this board. But the non-traditional means of generating wealth in this system, which was really exposed at a great level during the OnlyFans epidemic of 2020, when we really started to see how important, how significant the consumption of online adult content was. This is what I'm in favor of. And I'm not saying we can't have this, but I'm saying that we as regular people have to release enough shame of this field, of this sexuality, of everything that comes with that, so we can allow the people who are doing bodily entrepreneurship on platforms like OnlyFans or on these major networks, they have a community to invest their wealth in. They have a self they can invest in and a community that loves them and supports them. And they have the ability to become something beyond. I wrote these benefits in depth right here. So let me just get into those because it's making me feel good now. Making me feel real good now. The people, when money's coming in, money's being transacted, when the transaction for money is happening for value, I apologize, and I'm not going to edit that because I was really trying there. When the transaction for value and money is happening, that's business. How about we start calling these people what they are? Business owners, entrepreneurs of value. Now, you may be ashamed of that value because it's booty and some boobies, but that is not your room to speak, because somebody with wealth has decided that that is valuable and is willing to create or generate the transaction that will provide wealth for the producer of this content, of this value. And the problem is that one of the main problems that we are so individual and so just like shame-based as a society, we see people with money and we get ashamed. We see people with more than us. We see people who are winning in ways that we are ashamed of and we hate them. We don't let them build with us. We don't let them teach us. We don't let them not necessarily influence us, but we don't let them regulate that energy and that positivity in that direction into a community of people that have an opportunity of thinking of more ways, different ways, healthier ways of becoming while being able to sustain the self, while also being able to generate money and self-sustainability within an industry that has never allowed the product to sustain itself, much less sell itself and create its own self-sustaining value. Let's get into this, man. Let's get into this, man. But the entrepreneurship shit, really think about it. You're teaching people who are in the industry how to regulate themselves like a business, because this is a business and what they are offering is given through their body. So you're teaching them how to operate like a business, and now they have the mindset of, oh, I need to take care of myself like a business. I need to operate through this network like a business. I need to take care of my lifestyle and my routines like a business, because I am the wealth. I am the value. I am the abundance that the world is calling for and the world is willing to give amazing transactions for. So I need to be taken care of, and we as regular people who are not actively involved in this industry or community need to say, we are willing to create communities where you can be 1 foot in, 1 foot out, still loved and supported as a human being while you are in here making your wealth. So then you're not spending your wealth in this industry trying to soothe or treat your mental health through self-medication, through partying all the time. You're able to actually generate more wealth, because now instead of just using this industry to make wealth, you have time, you have resource, you have opportunity to create other forms of wealth, to live a completely different life, because all you did was need the little boost that this kind of entrepreneurship, this business was going to grant you. The content through this entrepreneurship adult content is consensually produced. How could you not love that? How could you not appreciate knowing, even though you have to pay individual artists, because this is what they are, even though you have to pay individual artists for the work, the value that they're giving to you, it was chosen to be given. It was chosen to be shared. It was a conscious decision to create this and provide it for you. So you know there's nothing on your conscience that's telling you this is a case. And I am a bystander in a case that more times than not will go unsolved. Like, I can't even lie to you, it's not necessarily corn in general that stopped me from watching it, or like any of these self-development videos, any of this nonsense. It's the fact that just knowing in my head and just hearing from the actual stars and hearing from people in the industry that most of the content on there is underage, is trafficked, is non-consensual, is drugged. Most. If you even heard a little snippet of what happens to these people outside of the lights, camera, action, you would literally like rip your skin off. Modern slavery, dude. Modern slavery that's just allowed to go underground, bro. And I really hate that. I really hate that. It's not shame for the industry or the concept of the industry. It's shame for how we allow this world, this business, this fearful mindset to treat each other as human beings, bro. Just trying to get to a bag. That's crazy to me, bro. That's crazy to me. Continuing on, though. Continuing on. This is one of the working class pipelines to wealth. The problem is that you're so damn ashamed of making wealth and just releasing the fear and the trauma and the bullshit that comes with this, that we create for ourselves around this industry, that you allow yourself to be broke and to shame other people into brokenness like you because you don't like the way that they choose to make their money. Is it hurting you? You know, it's crazy. It's actually helping some people alleviate their pain, helping people regulate their sexual energy, helping people find intimacy where they will never get it in this world, bro. You're fucking up the game, man. That's what the fuck it is, bro. So much of this shit around the sex work industry is just shame. And I understand there's a natural state of shame that people need to exist under to regulate, to cope within a society. But it's too much, bro. And I'm telling you, if you really want to get to the loot, bro, if we are really going to get to where the abundance and the wealth that we need to as a people, the awareness that we need to, we got to start releasing a lot of these mental matrices that the elite have thrown down to us, bro, to feed us. And we need to start demanding the wealth that we're creating for them right back. But this is one of the paths that the working class is going to get to the riches. And I say that because, forgive me, I'm starting to lose myself, but I'm going to find it right now. I'll find it right now. Because the rich are too ashamed of actively creating this content. The rich are too ashamed. They are too afraid of actually being on the forefront and making this kind of shit. But they'll exploit us about it. They'll damn sure exploit us about it. Yet they won't produce the content. Yet they won't get in the field with the gangsters making shit happen. And that's why I don't respect them. But since we are literally right next to the people who make this content and are being socially rejected, why can we not change our perception of why we're rejecting them, or at least understand why we're rejecting these people who aren't doing nothing to harm us? You know what? Maybe they are doing something to harm you. Maybe they're taking the attention away from your monogamous husband. Maybe they're making it harder for you to be an average Joe, and now you have to compete in a different sector of life that you didn't think you'd have to because you thought the cop-out was going to be having a kid. We'll get to that later. But think about this. Oh, this is one of my favorite things. Actually, I got to make sure this is still recording, so forgive me, please. Okay, getting right back to it. Two of my favorite benefits of developing entrepreneurship in this field for the people and destigmatizing sex work for individuals and creating communities for them to build and grow. This is one of the means you can do it by. This is one of the direct funnels to making that happen. It's creating personalities for each individual sex worker, for groups of sex workers, but it's creating personalities that the audience isn't just exploiting. I'm saying that the audience isn't just being relieved sexually through this content, through these people. The audience has somebody on the other side of the screen that they can care about. Even if they never meet them ever, the audience has somebody to care about, to respect, to invest in, to see grow, to see develop. You see how it becomes more than just sex work right there? It becomes sex lifestyle. Now the people who are really involved in this can really be immersed in the lifestyle of being appreciative and of being respected through sex rather than being exploited, jammed out, bro. Jammed out on camera. And then when they need help in real life, they're not human beings. They don't deserve our respect. They don't deserve our love. What the fuck is that, bro? Horrible. But this comes with regular people being on the outside, being able to regulate the infrastructure for the people who are actually doing the work. It's like asking Floyd Mayweather to win 50 matches in a row without no team. That shit ain't gonna happen, bro. Ain't nobody gonna do that. All right. And then we as a people releasing the shame, it's gonna destigmatize not just the culture and help bring the community of people together, just as people trying to get money, make a way for themselves and their legacy and their future generations. But it's also going to allow us to influence the culture by deciding where we give our value and our attention to as a people. And attention and value will always be sourced at sex and intimacy and arousal and love. Attention will always be there. And if we can accept that, then we can accept the fact that You can't call out every single devil in this industry, in this field, and just assume that, Jesus is going to come save you. You have to develop your perception around sex, sexuality, and the sex industry so you can, as infinite and as big, as expansive as it can never corrupt or control you as an individual. You can see it as a vehicle to be used to better develop yourself, as an environment and a community that you can appreciate and respect from the outside, or as something that you just mind your fucking business about because it's not affecting you anyway. All right? Part two coming up. What are you waiting for? Part two. Okay. Now, we're going to get into the social matrix that's created by these elites, whoever's running the system, the government, the people who are the power players of the game. We're going to show you how they want you to perceive this reality to keep them generating the wealth out of this industry and to keep you hating other human freaking beings who are just trying to get them some money to pay their bills and take care of themselves and maybe splurge a little bit, bro. Do a little dance. You know what? Make a little cool money. But why do you gotta judge? That's the thing to me, bro. And I know I'm not no freaking Jehovah. I know Jesus Christ. But I definitely know that in the world that I desire to live in, and hopefully in the empire that I have the opportunity of building through this vessel, we can respect human beings just on a base level and then see how we can all get to the loot together. Or at least the ambitious ones get to the loot and bring it to the people who still support and love us on the other end of our journeys. I didn't mean to track into like a movie monologue there, but I had to give you something a little bit. But look at this pyramid scheme. I know you guys love these. You damn capitalists, bro. You capitalist indoctrinated citizens of America. You love pyramid schemes, bro. It's like you just be getting soaked up about these shit. So I had to draw one up for you. You know what? Just because I respect you, I love you, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you watching my shit. So let's get into this little pyramid scheme that we got running on us. Let's just go from top to bottom. This line right here that I drew is separating the socially acceptable working class and the socially rejected working class. But you have to understand that these are still working class people. These people are just rejected in how they have chosen to go about making their money in relation to their circumstances and the resources they have provided to them. These people have been fortunate enough to work in industries that also allow them the validation as adults to not have to worry about needing to do side hustles, needing to do extra shifts, needing to do a bunch of extracurricular shit to have a socially validated identity. So this isn't just a thing that everybody can achieve. This is a fortune thing. And when we really get into it, money can be made through this whole entire pyramid. Even some places in these corners, money can be, Even some places in these corners, money can be made at much greater quantities than in these areas. But as I was saying earlier, if you remember, because I know I do, your ability to keep the shame from this part, your ability to just shame down and the validation of the rich above you is more important than being able to see what other kind of wealth is built down here in these damn trenches and becoming something with your other working class individuals that society has chosen are not as valuable as you. But remember, this is capitalism. You're broke. So you need to take the shame and cut that shit out. The illusion, what I write here so beautifully, the illusion of social divide created by projection and internalized shame. It's not created by God saying, prostitutes are horrible. Sex workers are the devil. You need to shun, 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 shun. Like, it's not God or any higher power saying that. It's us. It's as a society, we have decided, you know what? These people make us feel so horrible on the inside because of something we're just not willing to address that we are going to make it not okay to be that person. So this is the illusion they create, dude. And as I tell people all the time, and I'm going to start telling you guys in my videos, the middle class doesn't exist. There are the people who have and the people who don't. And there's a lot more of us who don't than people who do. So let's really start figuring out the people who don't in all of our extreme quantities in the spectrum of people that we have, and allow ourselves to come together and do something about these little bits who somehow have more than they can chew, but not enough to share with the rest of us. Just as much work as it takes to be right, to look for the knowledge on the outside world, it takes us to be willing to be honest and truthful and accountable within ourselves. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm definitely saying that I'd love a community of people who are willing to have passion going both directions. As above, so below, literally. But I may have just explained to you exactly what I was trying to tell you in this damn thing right here. And that's my fault. But I'll definitely go through this again just to make sure you guys are getting the real. But the real social divide that we're talking about, it's just rich and poor. No middle class. Just went to that. ADHD is finally allowing me to pick up shit in order. You know, the thing is, it's ADHD and it's autism. So it's like, you're barely getting like a natural human being out of me. You're just like, this is the most natural human being shit you get out of me. English and energy. But that's about it. But the real social divide is about wealth. It's about what do you have, the haves and have-nots, bro. And we need to figure that shit out as a people who don't have a lot, how we can get our shit met every time. And maybe these people wouldn't even matter. But the only reason they matter is because we need to beg them for shit that they should be giving us. The only reason they're significant is because everybody has enough, but they are cornering more of it so we can go and get it through them. It's so weird, bro, how this society works. Like, it's really just this giant game of like extended risk and Monopoly and some other game that I probably haven't played, but is just like super political. And everybody is just like, just this giant, I'm not even going to go into that. But you know, just this giant just cesspool of nonsense. And everyone's just saying a bunch of shit, talking over each other, looking at the same, 10 pages of a book like it's doing anything for us instead of just shutting the fuck up and just listening to one person at a time and trying to figure out how we could all do this together. I'm sorry, I'm always going to get back to that point, bro, because this is all we have, dude. This is everybody. I'm literally putting everybody in this thing. It's not, you're not human, so you don't get included on here. This is everybody, bro. So we need to figure out how to regulate everybody and not how to only give power to a certain number, bro, because you have to exist with everybody, bro. And it's how you maintain and regulate that energy that's the most important thing. I didn't even know I was going to get into all this like spiritual metaphysical shit on this side, but hey, you know what? This is why we did a part 2 of this video. All right. So I already explained to you how we just automatically, and I say, no, I'm actually mentally disabled, so I think I may be here. And I have a whole bunch of other shit, so I may be here. But I think I'm pretty fortunate to have like at least a handful of things figured out to where I could pass for this. But I am not this. Like, I cannot sustain myself in this lifestyle yet. So I am here. And I think that's where so much of my perspective comes from. Being here, knowing I could be here, but knowing this is the reason why I'm not here. That's crazy. That's crazy, huh? I'm sorry. Sometimes the epiphanies just like slam themselves in the middle of the work I'm trying to do. And it's like, damn it. But, I'm just feeding you everything right now. These are sessions. These aren't like episodes. They're sessions that we're having. And I'm trying to explain to you this shit. So we start with rejecting our own people. That's A, right? And then B, the rich take advantage of the vulnerable. These people are already in a vulnerable, trashed out position, looking, begging, desperate for salvation. These people have the means of giving them that salvation through monetary means, conditional means. So it's almost like these are the perfect people to just feed crumbs and crumbs and crumbs to, because they've never seen anything more than that, or they're willing to just keep being fed crumbs to stay alive rather than being given sustenance to live on their own beyond this trauma cycle. So these people manipulate us, or not us, them, regular, socially acceptable working class people, convince them that they should be too ashamed of helping us, too ashamed of contributing, loving, caring for these people who are being exploited, while making all the money that comes from down here, exploiting all these people that have to work for it. And then feeding them crumbs because they know they're too desperate to fight for their rights. They know they're too desperate to fight for the wealth that they're actually producing, and just too ignorant, not by choice, by situation, just too ignorant to know the amount of wealth that they are just existing in this system, because these are the only people that have the means of knowing what exists down there, bro. And these people are just so damn smart, bro, just bird's eye view and just fucking up the communities, bro. And you realize once you start looking at it from like a real business perspective, you see it's not the sex, it's not the temptation, the lust destroying communities. It's purely the exploitation destroying communities. And if we are going to allow this kind of exploitation to happen, where a few people get to suck out all the fucking life out of the system and then crumb us like narcissists in a cycle that we don't even need them to participate in, then we might as well just start selling ourselves and regulating that wealth in communities and systems and preset infrastructures that allow the community to retain a little bit of this wealth, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more over time. And then we can develop and become the empires that take this over. But since it's us doing it with the knowing of living this life on the exploited side of life, we can create a system that isn't so centralized by an investor class, but is decentralized and is regulated by the people who don't just consume, but the people who live in the same world as people who work in the sex industry. Thank you. We got into a lot today. This is probably like an hour-long episode. But I'm thankful, you know? I'm raising a community of conscious individuals that are here to change the world. We change the way that people think. We change the way that people act. We inspire the way that people can contribute life to a world that is dying. And I almost want to say that this society is killing itself. But the more I just allow myself to receive the truth, we are killing each other. And, hopefully we figure it out. But this is what I do, man. This is how I contribute to this world, bro. I haven't lost hope yet. I feel like when you totally lose hope, that's when you're existing in hell. And I still have all the hope, all the love, all the energy to give to my people and my world, the world that I believe should exist on this planet. One full of love and community.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. I just got cut out of the end of my video, but I just want to let you know how appreciated you are, and I'm thankful that we're growing this community here. It's allowing me to feel at home. It allows me to feel at peace knowing that we're building something that's not just going to change our lives, but it's going to influence the world that we live in for generations to come. A lot of work that we got to do, but, I'm here for you. I know you guys are here for me. Let's support each other all the way to accomplishing our dreams. I didn't even mean to rhyme that shit for real.